Keep this frequency clear. Keep this frequency clear.
CJAM. Redefining radio in Windsor, Detroit. We are 99.1 FM.
Keep this frequency clear.
Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
It's Friday, and that means it's time for MediaPlex Live.
On CJAM 99.1, redefining radio in Windsor, Detroit. I'm Riley Livingston.
I'm Zachary Balog.
I'm Maher Hussain.
And I'm Vian Duchesne.
And you're in for a half hour of news, views, commentary, and maybe a few laughs. But first,
we're back.
So how has everyone's first week back in person been?
For adjustments.
It was a change for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I miss just going up the stairs and just turning on the computer and there is everybody.
And that was your commute, right?
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes. I'm ready to go.
I could get up at the last possible second, though I never did, but I should have taken advantage while I could.
I was like that.
Exactly.
But I mean, it is nice to be back in person because there's only so much of a conversation that could be had with just tiny little squares.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to everyone sort of at lunch, between classes, you know.
It's just like, Vian, you turned your mic off. Put your mic back on.
Yeah, unmute yourself. You're muted.
Right, you could put faces to the name because last semester all I could see was squares and initials.
Yeah.
I know,
for most people.
Earlier this semester, I was talking to somebody, and I'm just like, who are you?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's the first time you've seen them or heard them in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
pretty nice.
Make a deeper connection and actually see everyone.
Yeah.
And make connections with their faces.
And even the teachers, you can actually have better access to your teachers now.
Yeah. So how's everyone's New Year been so far? This is our first show back since Christmas.
True.
I was in Florida the other...
Florida man does whatever.
And, it was just... The snowstorm that happened the other day, I wish that was here when I was not.
Yes.
Your timing was off.
It was very off.
Yeah, it's been so long since we've been here that I had to get used to the routine again, but I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to see everybody.
True.
And that we're doing this again.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's really nice. It really is. So.
Yeah. All right. So the real question is, who's on first? Descended from turn-of-the-century burlesque sketches that used play on words and names, it was performed as a routine in the early 1930s. In February 1938, Abbott and Costello joined the cast of the Kate Smith Hour radio program, and the sketch was first performed for a national radio audience on March 24th of that year. Here's Bud Abbott and Lou Costello with Who's on First?
Well, Costello, I'm going to New York with you. You know, Bucky Harris, the Yanks manager, gave me a job as coach for as long as you're on the team.
Look, Abbott, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
I certainly do.
Well, I never met the guys, so you'll have to tell me their names, and then I'll know who's playing on the team.
Oh, I'll tell you their names, but strange it may seem, they give these ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names, pet names, like Dizzy Dean and...
His brother Daffy?
Daffy Dean.
I'm their French cousin.
French?
Gouffet.
Gouffet Dean. Oh, I see. Well, let's see. We have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
That's what I want to find out.
I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You're going to be the coach, too?
Yes.
And you know the fellow's name?
Well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who?
Yes.
Look, you got a first baseman?
Certainly.
Who's playing first?
That's right.
When you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
All I'm trying to find out is the fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
That's it.
Who gets the money on first
He
base?
does, every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
Look, all I want to know is when you sign up the first baseman, how does he sign his name to the
Who?
contract? The guy.
Who?
How does he sign his
That's
name?
how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
No, what is on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Well, don't change the players.
I'm not changing nobody.
Take it easy, buddy.
I'm only asking you, who's the guy on first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, what's the guy's name on first base?
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Oh, he's on third. We're not talking about him. Now, let's forget about
Now, how did I get on third base?
it. Why, you mentioned his name.
If I mention a third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third?
No, who's playing first?
What's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go, back on third again. When you stay on third base and don't go off it,
All right, nobody will know.
Now, who's playing third base?
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
What is on second?
You don't want who on second?
Who is on first?
I don't know. Third base! Look, you got outfield?
Sure.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me who's playing left field.
Who is playing first?
I'm not. Stay out of the infield. I want to know what's the guy's name in left field.
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base. And the left fielder's name?
Why?
Because.
Oh, he's center field.
Look, you got a pitcher on the team?
Sure.
The pitcher's name?
Tomorrow?
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you
Then
now.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow you're going to tell me who's pitching?
Now listen, who is not pitching?
I'll
Who is-
break your arm, you say, who's on first? I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know.
Third base.
Got a catcher?
Certainly.
The catcher's name.
Today.
And tomorrow's pitcher.
Now you've got it.
All we got is a couple of days on the team. You know, I'm a catcher, too.
So they tell me.
I get behind the plate, do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on my team, and a heavy hitter gets up.
Yes.
Now, the heavy hitter bunts the ball. When he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I want to throw the guy out of first base, so I pick up the ball and throw it to who?
Now that's the first thing you've said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's all you have to do.
Is to throw the ball to first base.
Yes.
Now, who's got it?
Naturally.
Look, if I throw the ball to first base, somebody's got to get it. Now, who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
Naturally?
Naturally.
So I pick up the ball and I throw it to Naturally.
No, you don't. You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's different.
That's what I said.
You're not saying
I
right.
throw the ball to
You
Naturally.
throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
Listen, you asked me.
I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you.
Don't change them around.
Same as you.
Hey, now get it over.
I throw the ball to who? Whoever it is drops the ball and the guy runs a second.
Yes.
Who picks up the ball and throws it to what? What throws it to? I don't know. Throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play.
Yes.
Another guy gets up and it's a long fly ball to because. Why? I don't know. He's on third and I don't give a darn.
What?
I said I don't give a darn.
Oh, that's our shortstop.
I mean,
Come on.
So, Maha, now that we know who's on first, what is our unpopular opinion debate going to be about today?
This week's unpopular opinion is phone etiquette and social media influence on our daily conversations. There is no denying the impact of smartphones on our daily communication. With it comes expectations and guidelines. Do you answer every incoming call while talking with somebody else, or do you wait until the conversation has finished? I personally would wait unless it's from an immediate family member or an emergency. I also don't think every notification is worth responding to in the moment because not everything is urgent. What are your thoughts?
I mean, like, if you're amongst friends, put the phone away.
Yeah. Have a conversation.
Give the
in
conversation
person.
the attention it deserves.
Because, I mean, like, there have been moments where I've seen, like, couples or, like, friends at, like, the table, like, a restaurant table, and they're just texting.
Really, I actually read a BuzzFeed article about that. So to overcome this and to prevent people from reaching out for their phone like 2 minutes into the conversation, they put them all in a basket, and the first person to reach out for their phone has to pay for the entire meal.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard
it's-
that too.
Yeah, my family has a rule like no phones at the table. You have to have a conversation and actually talk about your day within the dinner time.
Us too, yeah, we're pretty strict about that too.
I mean, like, and also comedian Bill Maher talked about this as well on his show, where he said, like, when you're out to dinner with somebody and, you pull out your phone, you might as well just be, like, taking out a magazine. And just
Right. It's the modern day
surfing
equivalent
through.
to that. It's the modern day
Yeah,
equivalent.
if you think about it that way, it's very rude, right? Almost like I'm taking out a book and I'm reading it. But I will admit, I've done it before too. And sometimes, like, I'm trying to text somebody and I can't, I don't want to forget that I'm trying to text somebody, and I'll do it without even realizing in the middle of talking to somebody. And it is really rude. And I think I sort of know that, but I still do it. And I don't know
Yeah, and
why.
I'm guilty of it too. I say this to myself first before anyone else. But let's say I'm having a conversation with you, I get an incoming call, and right away I'll be like, nope, I have to take this call. And like, that's not very nice.
Sometimes you have to take the call.
Sorry, no, of course, if it, like I said, like if it's an emergency, if like my mom is calling me or I have something going on in my life, then I would let you know. But if it's like for any call, I'd rather, I wouldn't take
You
that
need
route.
it. Yeah.
Or if it's like, you're just like, if a scammer calls you, like, oh, I got to take this. Hello.
Yeah, I think if you want to get out of a conversation,
you're
that's a
trying
good
to
way to do
leave.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's calling me. I have to go.
I have to go. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, good excuse.
But it's something to be mindful of. I mean, there's
think
no
so,
denying Technology is so embedded in our daily lives, but you still need to be polite about it. It doesn't take away from that and the importance of that.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's just.
And that concludes our conversation. Tune in for next week's Unpopular Opinion.
Well, most of us have heard of behind the scenes, but Riley is here to tune us into what is behind the song. Riley?
Did you know that some of the most popular renditions of songs that we love today are not the original recordings, but are often covers by another band? Today, I would like to explore one of these songs, I Go Blind.
Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind.
Most often associated with 90s rock band Hootie and the Blowfish. But did you know that it is actually a Canadian song? I Go Blind was originally released by Vancouver band 5440 off their self-titled album in 1986. The band had quite the following in Canada, but never broke through to the US charts. It wasn't until nearly a decade later that their song would become a major hit. But how did this happen? One story goes that bassist for Hootie and the Blowfish, Dean Felber, had been a huge fan of 5440, even sneaking backstage at one of their concerts. After meeting the band, Felber explained that 5440 was huge back at his campus, University of South Carolina, and that Felber and his band covered several of their songs in their own shows. The two bands hung out for the evening, but 5440 quickly forgot about them. That is, until 1994, when Hootie and the Blowfish released their cover of I Go Blind as a B-side. But the song still had not become a major hit. In 1996, when the popular TV show Friends used the song in the episode The One with 5 Steaks and an Eggplant, where Ross, Chandler, and Monica go to a Hootie and the Blowfish concert. As a result, the song was later featured on the Friends soundtrack and soon topped the charts in the US. 5440 has stated that having the cover do so well feels like vindication for them, as their original was never released in the US. In 2021, the song was inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. This has been the story behind the song.
Windsor has a rich history with music, but as Madeline Mazak explains, some of it may have been forgotten.
I played on that Bandshell in 1972, and that's quite a few years ago. Things have really changed. It doesn't look as modern and cleaned up as it was back then, but it's not too bad. We came out on stage, it was our turn to play. We came out on stage and there's a microphone stand over here, one right here, and the band's all ready and set up to play. And I go up to the microphone with my hands on my electric guitar, both hands, and I go, "Hey, everybody." And the microphone, it felt like a pair of pliers grabbed my face because I got a shock like you wouldn't believe it. Because I was standing in a puddle of water.
Gosh.
And knocked me back, my eyes were watering, and and then we just played.
But everyone was out here because this was the show that ended the summer.
End of the summer for the people that were here, but the end of the summer for the people playing in the bands too.
Yeah.
We went to school 2 days later.
I decided to go to the local history library to learn more. If the Bandshell once meant so much to so many people, why is it forgotten today? On September 2nd, 1972, Scotty and his band, The Galleon, competed in the Battle of the Bands. Thousands of people weathered the storms that night to watch the competition. Labor Day weekend in Windsor back then meant one thing: the Firefighters Field Day, an annual fundraiser for the Firefighters Benefit Fund. A parade down Olette Avenue ended in Jackson Park for a weekend of celebrations, drawing out thousands of people. But the bandshell we see today is not the original. It is the replica of the original bandshell that, ironically, burnt down in a devastating fire alongside Windsor's grandstand in 1957. I wondered if anyone else in Windsor wanted to see the bandshell restored as well.
My name's Sarah Lestage, and I'm heading the group of individuals looking to have the Jackson Park bandshell repurposed. It was covered in different just trash, refuge from the landscaping that was being done in Jackson Park. I really didn't expect the kind of response that I got with over 1,000 likes in just over a month. I also had people reaching out, asking to volunteer, even just to come clean up the space. Ideally, I'd love to see Jackson Park bandshell brought back to life for public and community use. I'm really optimistic to see this happen.
Having worked at Fog Lounge for almost a year now, I've become familiar with Windsor's music scene. I decided to reach out to some musicians to see what they thought.
My name is Zach Vivier. I'm the bass player in Hutch.
I'm Sebastian App. I'm the guitar player and lead vocalist in Hutch.
Robbie Survey, the drummer in Hutch.
Is this thing on?
As a musician, you see like a stage and you just see like a potential like instantly, even if it's like run down, you're just like, you know, a coat of paint and this thing's ready to go. Just get a PA and a coat of paint and you're all set.
Yeah,
right?
man, it would be fun, but a little DIY.
Like that park and that area, it's just like screaming for like something cool to happen there. Like, I don't know, like as a band, like it just feels really good to play outside. Like it's kind of like a different feeling and it's really nice. And then like I love watching shows outside. Like we played like the Island Unplugged and everyone has like their own fold-up chairs.
Yeah.
And they just kind of sit around and everyone's having a good time, and like something like that could even happen at the Bandshell and people would love it. Like growing up, you know, like the older I got, it was like more people just saying that Windsor was like boring and there was nothing to do. And I think we kind of found something to do in the music scene and we're like, oh, like shows are fun and that's something to do. So we never were bored, but like to have a stage and to have like a pretty good like run of events going, I think, you know, people wouldn't really think that anymore, and I think that's why people are excited, is because it's like the potential for something to do.
Yeah, the memories of this stage, I have a few. They're rock and roll show memories. I made a lot of friends. Right here, this is where it starts. You could fit 5,000 people here, and more on the bleachers. There could be 5,000 people viewing an event off this stage.
That would be amazing.
It'd be thrilling.
And now it's time for the Persuaders.
I'm Zachary Balog, and have you ever had your work stolen right out from under you? What would that feel like? Well, no one knows that feeling better than Taylor Swift. In 2019, Big Machine Records was bought by music mogul Scooter Braun, and along with the purchase of the record company came Taylor Swift's master recordings. This had Swift seeing red, and the artist addressed the situation, telling her fans her life's work was stolen right out from under her. Swift hit back and reached out to her fans, announcing she would be re-recording her previous albums. When Fearless, Taylor's version, was released, it saw $140,000 in sales, and Love Story debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot Country charts. Swift has proven she will never go out of style, as she is set to release her re-recorded Red album, Red Taylor's version, on November 12th.
Hi, I am Karandeep Singh. The truth about Will Smith and Margot's relationship. Will Smith and Margot Robbie are one of the biggest superstars in the Hollywood. The pair have worked in a couple of blockbuster movies together. However, more than anything, Will and Robbie have been subjects of scrutiny more for the rumors of a relationship than being mere thespians. Over the years, fans are questioning them about their relationship if it was more than being co-stars. Insiders are saying that they are dating each other since when they first met on the set of an action movie in 2013. At the end of the shooting, the duo seemed to be brewing romance. It was said to have been at the movie's wrap party. Will and Robbie bailed out to remain in his trailer. Will and Robbie acted recently in 2021 DC Comics Suicide Squad. Once again, the movie sparked rumors of a romance between them as the intense chemistry between them did not go unnoticed by many fans. However, actress was quite vehement about her stance, letting fans and critics know that only thing between her and Will was a working relationship. In 2014, in an interview, she said she is very disappointed by these rumors, while rumors of their relationship swelled and intensified. A close source maintained that Robbie and Will's relationship was cordial. The insider shared that Robbie's relationship with Will posed no threat to his marriage, and he and Zada, Will's wife, were doing fine.
I'm Mohamed Cisse, and in the world of college football, Spencer Rattler is known throughout the U.S. Coming out of high school, he was a 5-star recruit, recognized as the #1 quarterback, and was seen as the next great QB out of Oklahoma University. In his freshman year, he sat behind now NFL quarterback Jalen Hurts and was seen as the next guy up. In his first season, he really did well, leading OU to a 9-2 record during the pandemic and winning the Cotton Bowl against number 10 Florida. Spencer was expected to win the Heisman, lead his team to the national title, and also projected to be a top quarterback pick in the NFL draft. Things didn't go as planned, as Spencer led OU to a 5-0 record, but in a less than stellar season, which led fans to turn against him against their rivals, Texas. The fans booed him, which led coach Lincoln Riley benching him for freshman sensation Caleb Williams. Williams ended up leading OU to a comeback victory in the Red River rivalry, which marked the end of Spencer's time as starting quarterback at OU. With the fans attacking him across social media, Spencer turned off his social media comments and is now sitting on the sidelines.
February is the time of year when many grade 12 high school students decide where they want to go for post-secondary education. Well, if you are considering the media, then listen and hear what we have to offer at the MediaPlex.
Journalism enables people to be well informed. It's documenting history. It's an extraordinary way for people to be connected with their community.
What happens in the world affects us. What happens in our community affects us. What happens in the province affects us. And we get to be the eyes and ears and tell the stories.
Meeting new people. I'm learning about things that interest me.
Convergence means the merging together of print, radio, and television, and the web, and putting all different stories into 3 or 4 different platforms.
In 21st century newsrooms, journalists have to be able to do it all.
We ask every one of our reporters to tell stories in multiple ways.
There's a different style of writing for print than there is for radio, than there is for television. And it's really important that the information gets out that is true to those platforms.
We are one of the few, if not the only, program that is actually taking students to a live broadcast and giving them that opportunity and that experience.
I find that the students that come out of St. Clair College are already at or above where some of our broadcast employees have been.
I made the greatest decision I could 2 years ago by choosing this program because I have learned so much.
I would hands down recommend the program to someone considering it.
Based on literally hundreds of interns I've seen over the years, St. Clair students are better prepared.
I think it's that very comprehensive curriculum that we have that creates converged journalists that sets this journalism school apart.
So let's Let's talk. Is Valentine's overrated?
Yes.
Commercialized? Is it okay the way it is, or what would be your suggestion, Zach?
I mean, like, there's 365 days in a year. You only have to pick one day to show your love and affection for somebody. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, why can't we love each other every day, right?
I know, that's true. Why can't we?
Yeah, and it's very over commercialized with the chocolates and the big bears and.
Where am I gonna put that bear?
Yeah, exactly.
Show up on door the
And
bear.
the roses and everything, and you know, there's got to be a lot of pressure for couples, right?
There's also the pop culture aspect, movies and TV shows with dedicated episodes within their broadcast season.
Yeah, see, that part I don't mind because I like watching TV. Even if I'm not celebrating Valentine's Day, I'll just eat my chocolate and watch the Valentine's movie. But
You and your big bear over on the other side of the couch.
that no one bought for me because I'm not in a relationship. Bought it for myself.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my.
That's your
Valentine's
relationship for Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Yes, is self-care for myself. Yes.
It's good to be me, Amazon Prime. That's it.
Yes,
That's all I
some
need.
ice cream, some chocolate. You know.
Maybe a Lego set I bought myself. Who knows?
Yeah. Treat yourself, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
But there's a lot of marketing involved, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all it is
True.
marketing.
True.
It's all they want is money, which, you know, what else is new?
Yeah, that's the goal. And
Yeah,
why
really.
not make a holiday around it, make some money, and move on?
Yeah, and it's one of those ones that people like to say it's the greeting card holiday, right? Did it exist before? And I would argue that it did, right? But it was a Saint's Day, right? Saint Valentine's Day. It was a Catholic holiday, so it's really not about the chocolate and the flowers. It was originally about the saint and celebration.
Leave it to like a Catholic holiday being blown way out of proportion.
Yes.
Like Christmas is a Catholic holiday.
Yeah, you can say the same thing about St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yeah.
You know, what about St. Patrick says I need to drink green beer and party all night, right?
Okay, so I think we've offended A, the Catholics, and B, the drinkers on the Irish.
Well, I think it's strange just being here, but Zach is back to make things even weirder. Zach?
It's Friday, and that means it's time to sit back, relax, and look at the weirdest news found on the internet. That's right, it's time for Weird News. A TV weatherman in Louisville, Kentucky is going viral for a type of wind not usually featured in his reports. Last week, WDRB meteorologist Mark Weinberg was reporting on a cold front in the Midwest when he paused and seemed to have let's just say like he passed some gas. And during one of his live broadcasts, complete with a slight spring in his step. Man, when they talk about a wind from the south, I didn't know that's what they meant. Alrighty, from farts to Florida, it's time for...
Florida man, does whatever a Florida man can. Look out, here comes the Florida man.
A Florida man was arrested last Wednesday for allegedly causing a disturbance at a Cape Coral Waffle House over bacon. Police said Jose Alvarez was upset about how his bacon was delivered, and the Tampa Free Press reported that Alvarez is accused of shouting racial slurs at the workers and resisting officers until they threatened him with a taser. I guess he didn't like his wimpy bacon. Grab your umbrellas because it's raining iguanas. I'll let you figure out where. That's right, even evening walkers temperatures in Florida were in the 40s, sending the reptiles into shock and causing them to lose their grip on trees. The situation has become so prevalent that the National Weather Service issued a warning about falling iguanas. And because where else is that going to happen? I just want to reiterate the fact that they are not dead. They will get up and move once the weather gets warmer. So like me. So be aware, patio bar drinkers. And that's the weirdness for this week. Bad pun alert. What do you call a useless pelican? A pelicant. I'm Zachary Ballog. You cannot make this stuff up.
Thank you, Zach, and thank you for tuning in.
You have been listening to MediaPlex Live
on CJAM 99.1, redefining radio in Windsor, Detroit.
On today's show, we've had contributions from
Maha Hussein,
Vian Duchesne,
Karen Deep Singh,
Mohammed Sise,
Lou Abbott and Bud Costello,
and Madeline Mazak.
I'm Riley Livingston, and he's Zach Balog. Woo! See you next week, CJammers.